the pharmacognosy research and development. In this, we are also working out with many projects, and how we are going to this will be internationally under quickly presentations. Sorry, this is three aspects I'm going to complete on this. The main thing is what is pharmacognosy, number one. Then second part is what is the historical background of these natural medicines. And third is the how they are going to helpful, what are the mechanism. Mainly we are focusing, as I am the environmental scientist, what are the adulterants, toxicity they are involved in this. And fourth point, it is about my regulatory mechanism. And fifth point is the patents recognition, what are the norms for the herbal drugs. And last point, very, very important for the point of the student, is what is the funding sources which is available all over in the world level. And then, so this I think I will quickly complete within another 20-25 minutes presentation, 7 aspects, because I have been involved in several meetings. So, but still, thank you very much in the last moment facilitating me for my presentation. First of all, I start with this India's global scenario. There is a body called it as a Ayush, Ayurveda, Yoga, Naturopathy, Unani for medicines, Siddha and homeopathy they are doing. And what are those facilities we are going to tell you. Quickly about the use of medicinal plants. We all know about 80% of the world population uses herbal medicine. And two of the largest medicinal plant using countries are the China and India. And traditional Chinese mission 5,000 plants have been identified so far. And India uses almost 7,000 plants. There are almost 250,000 doctors and 460,000 doctors are there in the traditional machines. And even in the medicinal world trade also, billions of dollars has been sending on these various countries. This is all marketing management people, they can able to management subject student, they can able to do. Then Ayurveda has started 2500, 600 BC, you all know. Then the Egyptians also 1550 BC, they have started these herbal medicines. Then the Aerophobia of the Roman culture also, they have started in the 16th, 17th century. Now here I would like to bring a small case study here before I go to this herbal medicinal technology. In 1990, when I completed this environmental technology and the toxicity in the herbal medicine and identification of the herbal drugs, immediately after completion in the 90, my PhD, two of the companies come forward. One is the Procter and Gamble, which is in the Mumbai Thane Belapur Road, and other is the Park Davis. Park Davis is very famous for the Waterbury's red label compound, and then it is a Procter and Gamble is they are giving Vicks Vapo syrup. So that time there is a provision that those who are completed in science PhDs either to go there. Australia, that time the population was 1 crore. So they were welcoming with the direct citizenship with $15,000 present calculation. So that time they were giving the stipend also for them. So many of my colleagues, they have migrated to Australia in 1990, but I was very fascinating in doing in India. So he referred, there is no campus placement there. So he referred, at that time they were searching for a environmentalist who can identify this pollution, this toxicity and all these things. So they called me for a discussion. The vice president of the Procter and Gamble in the Thane Belapur Road, he called me, invited me for a discussion that we are having Vicks Vapo syrup, we want to revive it. So your presence is required. So I thought that, okay, why not we give that opportunity? So then he asked the one question that what is your uniqueness and specialty? Then I said that you give me drug any form or the herbal drug, we will tell you that which part and which substance it is. So that is the technology techniques we have standardized. That is, I'm going to tell you the techniques, how to identify, because the biggest challenge now is that identification. Normally for any herbal drugs, we are depending upon the plant character or the herbal collector. So he collects the medicine of a plant and he shows her this is Tinospora, this is this plant, this is this plant. And we blindly believe it and will conduct the research. But there is a specific standard methodology, whether it is a genuinity of that particular plant. So this is all about historical strength of the herbal technology. Now, pharmacognosy is a scientific and systematic study of sensory, physical, chemical, structural characters, uses crude drugs along with their history, distribution, cultivation, collection, and processing. These are all comes under the pharmacy, and this pharma means drug and cognosy means knowledge. Let us see how many branches are there for generally. As since it is a multidisciplinary, I am not going much depth level, but primary terminology I am speaking. Pharmacognosy is the branch of pharmaceutical science, deals with the medicinal drugs, phytochemistry, pharmacology, and pharmacognosy, management. All these are the composition of the biological activities, which is broadly composed. So historical background is that India, China, and this Egypt and Greece, these are the mainly using the more dependent on the herbal products. Especially the China is the India Ayurveda. No doubt we are having the ancient literature, but traditional Chinese mission also there, and then Unani is also there. Global importance: around 25% of the modern prescription drugs are derived from plants, and all over 80% of the global population relies on the traditional herbs. But still, I tell that I will speak more on the challenges of what on this later. Biodiversity, we are all speaking biodiversity. Many plants are becoming extinct, environmental problems, environmental concern. There is a degradation of the threatened plants. So much is going on. That's how I am not going to go. Natural products and drug history. So definitely why this plant is the original source of allopathy, Ayurveda, Unani, homeopathy, all is the natural medicines. Without natural medicine, only the difference is Ayurveda is used mostly in the form of the using the fresh herbs. Unani uses the dried parts like this majoritarily. So homeo is a fine extract part. So all these medicines is, but the base is the natural products. So in the 18th, the beginning is started in the extraction of the alkaloids. This also I'm not going to go nicotine, atropine, and all this. More my concerned about the toxicity, how they are involved. Now, some of the for the management and the other pharmacy, my participants, the Dabur is the top ranking in India. Is as per the present scenario, Himalayas, Hamdard, Baijanat, Jandu, and PNG. I told that US based and Hindustan Liver UK based. These are the two herbal products which are competing in almost 90 countries. Not all the herbal product, but it is a multi-dimensional product. But majoritatively, they are concentrating on the herbal products. And Lupin, Alembic, Park Davis, and many more are there. The list is there. They are coming forward for the development of the herbal. They are having a R&D division. I used to go in 1990s, traveling from the Domvilli to Thane. From there, some car used to come, and then I used to go to Belapur Road, and they are having the R&D department, and then there is a quality control also. But unfortunately, the problem what happened, it is there in the Vicks Vapo syrup. When they are giving tons of material is coming. But as a research scientist there, I checked that material, but lot of adulterants is there. Then I brought to the notice of the vice president that this is going to be served this medicine for the children. But you see the tons of material it is being used for the processing and preparation of the herbal drug. It is not of the authenticity. Then we have returned. Of course, there was a choice is there in the purchase division. But finally, I personally went to the Kalwa Devi market in Bombay near Masjid and then road. And then where we have identified that particular 4 plants is there. Then Herda, and then there is a Pipali, Piper nigrum, all these plants. Then I selected. Then they prepared the herbal drugs. It was really marked a difference, and internationally it was a lot of changes has come, and a lot of marketing has increased, and the product utilization results were coming. The headquarters of the Cincinnati PNG people, they come all the way, and they were appreciated the efforts, and they have been asked to me to design more. But by the time I was called from the NRS ISRO to study this satellite data analysis for the vegetarian. So this is my beginning part of that, where when I completed in Hyderabad my doctorate degree in this, then I moved to the Mumbai, then I come back again to Hyderabad to study this environmental impact assessment using the satellite data analysis. That was I given my detailed presentation in the last month. So that's why these are the two important aspects in the herbal drugs as well as in the technology part is the remote sensing. But many of the industries, they are coming forward. They are many spending the much money, CSR money, corporate social responsibility funding is there. So all these we are able to collaborate many things in the medical level also, that will not go much. I know time is, many speakers are waiting. Pharmaceutical industry, 7,000 compounds are there. And then these are all the some of the example pharmaceutical industry where are exports. There are billions of dollars are spending, and the 6,200 crores are expected to 5 lakh crores in 2050 World Bank. And then Europe is also 2,500 crore expect of the herbal products. And India is also doing very less, but it is going to come more and more in future. Then now my coming to the last technical part, how to detect this toxicity. We are using that medicinal plants for each and every purpose, but why this is not still able to come in a dominating form in compare with the allopathic drug? What are the constraints and what are the challenges? As a researcher, how we have to do these techniques to detect this toxicity and promote more herbal medicines and natural drugs preservation. So many of these things, basic structure in the companies, they will do a lot of tests, basically microbial tests, and then the quality standards, they will be doing so many tests. But in spite of that, still we can able to find out that is called it as a detection of the heavy metal analysis. What are those heavy metal analysis which are deposited, which are very highly carcinogenic effect in the treatment in the human beings, how it has to be detected, and what are these things? I will going to tell you quickly in this. So of course, these are all the various routine tests which have been doing in the normal companies. So where many techniques, the instrumentation we are using is thin layer chromatography, high power thin layer chromatography, GLCs, all these we are using these chromatographic techniques. And then many medicinal extractions, alkaloids also we are using. One of the product is there, Ranbaxy is there, one of the big company recently, one product they are sold for 100 crores. And that product is a huge demand in India, and that is a multivitamin tablets. And that it is when it is stopped for 1 month, there was a lot of demand. So retaining that band of that thing, and Ranbaxy sold at 100 crore. That product I will tell you at the end. So like this, many products, they are doing a wonderful business even in the many figures. Now coming to this, the biggest challenge I told you that the identification, we are depending upon the plant collector. No doubt they are doing, maybe doing good job, but what is the authenticity? Many of the industries has seen that they are not using that proper right specification which was prescribed. And so whenever we are conducted to the go to their visit the places, when we test for the heavy metal analysis, they are the more than concentrations. So definitely it will have the carcinogenic effects. So these are the two major challenges. One is the pollution and other is the identification. One has to, they are not going through identification of these herbal drugs through the floras. That is the main technical aspect. What is a flora? Then we'll do identification of the herbal plants to be done based upon the unique characters. Many species that will take with the help of the vegetative, floral, anatomical, physiological, and genetical characters. So when a product is not having all these only powder form, then we can use the physiological characters. When the product is having tablet is having only a smaller level, then we can take care of the anatomical characters. When product is in a raw form, then we can take care of the 1 and 2, A and B, that is a floral character. So like this, we can able to authenticity, we can detect it. Then last part of this coming to herbal drug toxicity. Phytochemical screening, high performance liquid chromatography, we are using that detection of the toxicity. Gas chromatography, we are using mass spectroscopy and nuclear magnetic resonance. These method helps to detect the potential toxic compounds such as alkaloids, glycosides, saponin, which are present the above the level. These are very requirement, but they are present in the above the constant concentration, then they will be harmful to this. Then there is also test heavy metal testing. So adulteration detection is some of the drugs are adulterated with synthetic drugs, herbal drugs, toxic methodology, thin layer chromatography. Also it will help us, but the main purpose I am going to tell is atomic absorption spectrophotoscopy. So what are these heavy metal analysis? They also called D block elements. They also called transition elements. They also call it as a heavy metals. Heavy metals, there are 40 metals are there. In this, the main components which are highly carcinogenic is lead. It is a lead, it is a Pb. We are called this, those who are having chemistry background, they can able to identify. Mercury, and then arsenic, and cadmium, and cobalt, of course, it is a many. So like this, there are 40 heavy metal analysis which are deposited. And suppose I have done one experiment on the Tulasi plant, that is called asimum. Asimum plant is a very pious to the all the people, and it has been taken in a large number of people. But what happened, whether we have been testing in this, we have taken that how this heavy metal deposition in this, whether it is a below or above, but it will varies from geographical distribution. That is the main constraint in the herbal drugs. When it is a homely grown plant, absolutely may not be having any heavy metal. But when it's a widely grown nearer to the roadside or near to the industry side, and that plant is collected, and that is a mixed when very large scale, when you are mixing with the tons, then it will be highly carcinogenic. So this way we have a comparison of this, and there are even Tulasi plant, there are having 8 varieties: Osmum gratissimum, Osmum canum, and Osmum spectaculum. So all these are different, and camphor is not present in all the osmums, only few species only present gratissimum. So like this way, these components we have been isolating and trying to provide the best specification for the industries, so that they can make this test is involved in their test, in the quality control in the R&D department, and come out with the products. So that is our main concern to this. Now, how to detect these heavy metals? There is a smaller level test, it is called atomic absorption spectroscopy, which measures absorption of light by free. Each metal absorbs light specific. So whenever the sample is exposed to this atomic absorption spectroscopy, it will able to give the sensitivity of that lead, cadmium, cobalt. But now there is a advanced another instrument is called infra-coupled plasma emission spectroscopy. It ionizes shampoo and inductively coupled plasma and ions are detected spectrometry. And this advantage is highly sensitivity, capable of detecting trace level also in heavy metals, and even can analyze multiple metals simultaneously. This is one of the best instrument which I recommend to all my researcher who are going testing for heavy metal. Heavy metal may not be do for only drugs, it may be done for the food products or any other product you do. Heavy metal analysis will be present because they will be carrying some heavy metals in each and every aspect. Even in the restaurants, hotel also, whenever food preparation is there, they used to check because the containers carry these heavy metals. Lead will be coated in the tins. So they will be also, we have been asking these the drug inspectors also to take this type of precaution in the heavy metal depositions, and easy ways to have this infra-coupled plasma emission spectroscopy. It costs about 20 to 25 lakh one-time investment. Atomic absorption spectroscopy, which costs about maybe 2 to 3 lakhs. It is a lesser. For research purpose, both you can use, but more effective is inductive coupled plasma emission spectroscopy, where it will able to tell you what is the level of this. Then what is the benchmark level of this heavy metals? When it we treat as a carcinogenic, when it is exceed the limits. Then there is other techniques also, X-ray fluorescence. So these are the benchmarks for the World Health Organization. They have given lead, it should not be more than 10 ppm parts per million. And cadmium, it should not be more than 3 ppm. And mercury, it should not be more than 1 ppm. And arsenic, it should not be more than 3 ppm. So then it will have a long run, it will have a lot of carcinogenic thing. I'm not making any afraid of, but we are only suggesting that this test to be, we are going to make it in the part of our herbal or in the food products. Everywhere heavy metal analysis is required, so that one can confidentially can able to take the whatever medicine or whatever product is that. Maybe many of you are having many doubt, definitely we welcome you. And these mucilase, phenols, tannins, coumarin, anthraquinone, fluoins, things. Then most of the part, now coming to this regulatory mechanism, these are the things, the biggest challenge in the herbal medicinal plants is that whole pot is being used. And when it is being whole part used, the actual component of the alkaloid is very limited component. When we are using the whole component, the effect of that component is decreasing. So that's why we told that more research should be done in extraction of these components, and then all these tannins, phenols, tannins, coumarins, anthraquinones, flavonoids, anthocyanins. So these are the various, like these alkaloids are there. When we extract it with using the fluorescence techniques, then we can able to diagnosis. Now coming to the last. So that is the broad about the pharmacy, pharmacokinetics, pharmacodynamics, pharmacology. All these are synonym related to this herbal products, are also the allopathic drug standardization unit. Now regulatory authorities, lastly I'm coming to the two parts. Food and Drug Administration, FDA, normally approves these herbal drugs, but manufacturer responsibility they are given to the ensuring to the safety. Europe is a medicinally, again it is advisory role, provide scientific guidelines. India, there is a Ayurvedic, Siddha, Unani drugs. I told you Ayush, they are having 1970 ministry, and they have the traditional medicines quality. Then China, they also have strictly regulatory mechanism whenever the drug is identified. And Japan, pharmaceutical medical device agency and World Health Organization standards also there. Quality control, intellectual property right, lack of scientific evidence, traditional, these are the challenges. The biggest challenges is that standardization. I told you that most of the products identification is the concern. We are depending upon the plant collectors, but we are not going through the floras and faunas to authenticity of that particular herbal drugs. Unless we go through the floras and faunas and verify physically with the presence, because this is called taxonomist. In the world level, taxonomists are missing, but that's why the biodiversity problem is increasing. The identification and the nomenclature of this biodiversity has been coming very threatened way, because we are missing this taxonomy. So everywhere industry, they're all depending upon the plant suppliers and plant collectors in collecting the herbal products. So I request all the researchers that whenever you are taking any sample for research, kindly authentically prove that whatever the sample you are collecting, it is a very authenticity in using that identification and nomenclature. Then of course, quality control, adulteration, contamination, lack of appropriate standardization techniques, because one plant technology is different, another plant technology. So to fix up any regulatory mechanism is very, very difficult compared to the allopathy, but herbal, there is a wide variety of the techniques are there. Lack of scientific evidence. Most of the drugs there, we need to get the scientific evidence. Then regulation, intellectual power, lies. Eligibility for patent. Now, what is the patent? Whenever a drugs to be patent going, what are the norms? Not all drugs will be natural products can be patented, because those are they having preserved in the ancient knowledge. That is a knowledge property of everybody. But herbal drug must be following this criteria. That is, one, invention must be new and previously disclosed in the not disclosed in the public form in a published use. That before patenting, it should be published in the form of patent and publication. Then only patent can be done. Then inventiveness. Invention must involve the inventive step, meaning it should be obvious to the person skilled in the field, related to the skill in the field. And it should have the industrial application also. And patentable subject matter is also there. And these will help for the registration of the patents in the natural. Common jurisdiction and their policies for the patenting is United States, that patent is under product process use patent, but natural itself. But unless they will not do this, it is genetically modified. This is genetically modified, especially for the herbal drugs. European Union is also more stringent in allowing the patents in the traditional knowledge. And India is also in 1970 restrict the patenting of the traditional knowledge, but allows patent for novel herbal formulations. China, of course, they are having the Chinese medicine, which are having this. Now, what is the funding source? This is one of the important source. I am going to tell you that, of course, that slide is missing, last slide. The in the funding source, Ayush is the one of the great source. 3,400 crores are there. This budget has been sanctioned 2024 and 25 financial year. 2024 and 24, Ayush is having 3,725. 3,725 crores budget is there for providing the patents and for the research and for the startup. And in the last 2 years back, the startup grant, one student received 2.5 crores. So there is a huge funding is available if you have a novel idea. That's why I selected this topic especially, because much of the funding is comparatively better in this natural product. Ayush is having huge funding. Government is supporting in this herbal drugs mechanism in providing. Even NGOs can able to get the funding also. And there is Ayush guidelines exclusively for portal for the NGOs. They can able to get funding for promoting awareness campaigns about the herbal medicines, farmers, cultivation, everything. They are giving everything for the promotions in a huge funding. So especially for the research and the projects, they are getting the startup grants from the students. So I think that with this few words, I will be concluded that initially we tell about the pharmacognosy definition, then what is pharmacokinetics, pharmacodynetics, and pharmacology. And then next part is about the what is the toxicities involved, and third part is the challenges. The best way is the identification of the herbal drugs is the more challenge, and devising of the regulatory mechanism, rules and norms is very tough time, because the variation among the identification of the drugs is very high, and the mechanism of the patenting and funding is also many projects are getting. Even we applied for this project, we got 60 lakhs project for creating a training program for the on the herbal medicinal plants to the training the trainers. They will in turn go and train the farmers. So we have got this, and through every state government has been also asking this to send these proposals, and medicinal plants, cultivation, propagation, conservation, developments, products, then R&D research and developments, startup grants, all these fundings are available in the Ayush, and the budget is very huge high. The financial year March is coming. So I request all the participants, those who are interested, through NGO or through state government, they can apply to this project and make this as a good is a Fit India program very successful in this. So with these few words, I'm thanks to this the Eudaxia Research University President Psychiazi and the entire team, Vice Chancellor, Pro Vice Chancellor, entire dignitaries, guest of honors, and all the participants. Wish you all the best for the wonderful career and prospectus. Thank you, sir. Thank you all. All the best.